Hi, my name is Dylan Nguyen, and right here is my partner Stanley Song. And welcome to the History Channel. Today we will take a look at schooling and education in the Age of the Enlightenment.
The Renaissance has been the beginning of a new era in history, which culminated in the 17th and 18th centuries with the development of absolute states everywhere except for England and Holland.
Even in an absolutist state, however, education cannot be the sole privilege of the rich or the ruling classes. Because an efficient absolutist state requires capable subjects, albeit bound to their social position.
Elementary education for the middle class thus developed in the 17th and 18th centuries, and more the state saw itself as the task, the responsibility for establishing and maintaining schools.
This tendency toward general education did not stem only from considerations of political expediency, but it stemmed also from the desire to improve the world through education, making all areas of life orderly and subordinate to rational leadership. Prior to the 17th and 18th century, literacy and education were restricted to males of nobility and professional classes. Only one of the places commoners could get education was at churches and other religious institutions. We think it may have gone something like this.
You guys need to learn how to read and write. You know why?
Why?
I'm tired of reading this damn book to you.
What book is that?
The Bible, dude. It may not have happened exactly like that, but these things get lost in translation. Education in the 17th and 18th centuries was influenced primarily by theologians, philosophers, and government, which included the likes of Sir Francis Bacon of England, René Descartes of France, Jean-Jacques Rousseau of Switzerland, John Comenius of Bavaria, and John Locke of England. These individuals made a huge impact on education and the Age of Enlightenment. Ideologies and methods were established as a result of these individuals' influences.
Surprise,
Sir Francis Bacon said,
"Knowledge is power."
Bacon observed that the educators of his time were close-minded and ineffective because they presented themselves as orators of empty rhetoric rather than teachers of factual scientific information based on proven theory. His approach to teaching included a method he called empiricism. Bacon argued that pupils needed to be prepared for life through proper schooling so that they would be better able to function within and contribute to their society. Descartes said,
"I think, therefore I am."
Descartes had a different approach in mind for teaching and learning than Sir Francis Bacon's empiricist ideas. Unlike the analytically structured approach, he believed that the basis for learning originates from human reasoning, which must be the foundation for all critical thinking and analytical practices. John Locke. Locke said,
"Let us then suppose the mind to be, as we say, white paper, void of all characters, without any ideas. How comes it to be furnished? To this I answer one word: from experience. In that all our knowledge is founded, and from that it ultimately derives itself."
The quote comes from Locke's An Essay of Understanding. His main idea was that humans are born with minds that are blank states. Locke believed that the human mind should be entertained initial thoughts that should progress and yield to complicated thoughts and ideas. Locke believed that a person must experience what he or she learns from life situations. His writings were very important during the Age of Enlightenment because his thoughts focused not only on the education during that era, but also government. State education was a major concern for philosophers during that period, and Locke's influence in politics may have helped pave the way for philosophies to take root in government planning for education. Jean-Jacques Rousseau said,
"I hate books. They only teach us to talk about things we know nothing about." Rousseau helped bring about an educational revolution in France with his work Emile. In this book, Rousseau talks about how children should be allowed outside in the sunlight playing. This is where they learn best.
He also states that children have stages of development as they grow, and education should coincide with them.
Before age 12, a child is limited in complex thought, so they should be taught simply. Between ages 12 and 16, reason starts to develop, and by age 16, children become young adults. Young adults should be taught a trade in masonry or carpentry.
A child that grows up in this fashion will have the best possibility to develop to his full potential. Rousseau also says that education begins at home, and parents should not preach, but lead by example.
For the most part, Rousseau believes that children should make their own decisions and their educators should be there to support them.
Kamensky, he said,
The whole of the human race may become educated, men of all ages, all conditions, both sexes, and all nations.
He proposed a segregation of schools according to age and grade levels. At 7 to 12, pupils would enter a vernacular school, a gutek, where there would be 6 different classes, one for each age. During this time, the people would learn religion, ethics, diction, reading, writing, math, music, economy, civics, history, geography, and handicraft. And the Encyclopedia Britannica claims this. In these lower levels, the pupil would hone his or her imaginative and memorization skills. At 13 to 18, pupils would learn Latin and grammar. Courses involving language arts and the sciences would be further studied. At 19 to 24, the people would continue on to higher education at a university where Comenius believed each province would establish. Today, classes that are grouped by age, 2 primary schools of thought, arts and science, and the use of illustrated children's books to promote literacy is a nearly universal ideal everywhere in the world in our society. Education. Prussia was one of the countries that provided state education. Mandatory schooling for all children ages 5 to 14 was implemented under the regime of Frederick the Great of Prussia. His minister was Friar von Zedlitz, who supported the founding of new schools and the centralization of school administration under an Oberschule or National Board of Education, 1787. Cultural exchange. During the 18th century, the increase in social gatherings places such as coffeehouses, clubs, academies, and Masonic lodges provided alternative places where people could read, learn, and exchange ideas. In England, coffeehouses became public spaces where political, philosophical, and scientific ideas were being discussed. The first coffeehouse in Britain was established in Oxford in 1650, and the number of coffeehouses expanded around Oxford from then.
During the 17th century, there were a number of schools dedicated to girls, but the cultural norm was for girls to be informally educated at home. During the 18th century, there was an increase in number of girls being educated in schools. This was especially true for middle-class families whose rising financial status and social aspirations made providing an aristocratic style of education for their daughters both desirable and possible. In France, one of the most famous schools for girls was the Saint-Cyr, which was founded by Madame de Maintenon. Although the school Saint-Cyr was meant to educate women, it did not dare to challenge the traditional views towards women. Therefore, the fact that there were schools for women did not bring about a social change, because the schools themselves did not challenge the social status quo.
Okay, girls, that's all for today. You can go home now. But remember, you guys are 100% inferior to men.
Thank you all for watching this documentary by the History Channel. And as you can see, these Enlightenment thinkers have impacted not only education during the 18th century, but also our world today.
Through our children and their futures, through clubhouses, through coffee houses, you can see the impact they have made so much positivity through it.
Alright?
Hi, my name is Doolin Wynn, and right here with me is my accomplice. Oh fuck, I put it up. Oh my!
In the beginning of a new era in history, which culminated in the 17th and 18th centuries with the development of absolutist evidence.
Wait, what? Didn't you guys already say all this shit?
Yeah, but we're doing it. Thus developed in the 17th and 18th centuries, and more the state saw it as its task, the process to take this. Oh fuck! God damn it! Too fast, like sand.
Slow down. Again. Sir Francis Bacon said,
"Knowledge is power."
Ye. Bacon observed that the educators of his time were close-minded and ineffective because they presented themselves as orators of empty rhetoric rather than teachers of factual scientific information based on proven theory. His approach to teaching included a method called empiricism.
Let us then suppose the mind to be, as we say, white paper, void of all characters, without any ideas. How comes it to be furnished? To this I answer in one word, from experience. In that, all our knowledge is founded, and from that it all ultimately derives. Come on, fuck up. Do this shit again, dude.
It states that children have stages of development as they grow and should be taught simply.
Fuck.
A child also says, "Oh my God!"
Now you're fucking up.
I keep saying the wrong line.
Come on, dude.
Education was very profound in the country of Prussia. It was nationally worldwide there.
Nationally worldwide, you're retarded.
Ideas. In England, coffee houses became public spaces where political philosopher.
One.
Okay, girls, that's all for today. You guys can go home now, but remember,
You guys.
are
I have a question. Fuck you!
Alright, you guys need to learn how to read and write. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm trying to read this damn book to you.
What book?
Satanic Bible!
You're holding it upside down.